We're back for game number 2, and this one is a bit of a heavyweight contest as well, with Thibault Tricole of France taking on James Richardson, who's adorning red today because he is a qualifier. Someone who has played in plenty UK Opens in his life, but this time he comes as an unseeded qualifier, and he came from Chester. He travelled a little bit from Northamptonshire to get his spot here at Minehead again. But I guarantee you that the French touch, as he's known, will definitely know plenty about James. This could be just as good, if not better, than the previous game, Dan McCarthy.
Yeah, it certainly could. We've seen James Richardson in the past be an unlikely conqueror of Raymond van Barneveld on the World Championship stage. He doesn't have a tour card currently, and hence that's why he came through the Riley's amateurs, but he is a player that does play an awful lot of darts. He's almost a fixture of the Moda Super Series. He's coming up now against another man who doesn't have a tour card, but Thibault Tricole is here via his performances on the Challenge Tour last year. Not being the greatest start to the year for the Frenchman. He hasn't managed to win a game on the Pro Tour in 4 attempts so far. So Richardson will look at this game and feel like he's in with a great opportunity. Of all the amateur qualifiers, Richardson has probably got maybe the best CV on him.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, actually, Dan. This is his 6th UK Open. And he has had some pretty decent wins in there. He's beaten the likes of Johnny Haynes, Tony Alcinas in the past. Darren Penhall, the last time he was here in 2020. Best run he's had, though, which, looking at his stats over the years, it's quite surprising, is the last 64. But he may just have a thorn in his side when it comes to double T, as I like to call him, because Tricole is top of the Challenge Tour Order of Merit. He is the man right now when it comes to the next level after the Pro Tour. And what a start. But doesn't take the leg, and he doesn't have to right there.
No, but James Richardson is a long way back. It's been a weird start to the season, really, for Thibault Tricole. Everyone was expecting him to be the first French tour card holder, but Jacques Larbe took that mantle off him. He's done well in the Challenge Tour, not so much on the Pro Tour. He does well on double 10, though, and takes the first leg, and it's an accomplished start to this match for the French touch.
I think the jury's out on that nickname. Very much still right now. But we're talking about a man in the last 12 months who has been to the WDF Lakeside final, where he lost out to Neil Duff, only just. And he just loves to play. Doesn't matter where he goes, he wants to be involved. And I think it's only a matter of time. It's easy for me to say this, by the way. I think it's only a matter of time before he is part of the PDC elite in the 128, joining Jacques Larbe maybe in the next 12 months. But being that #1 player on the Challenge Tour Order of Merit is going to get you a lot of invites this year. He could well have a similar season to that of Scott Williams from last year, and we all saw what he did.
Yeah, if he has a season that's half the success as Scott Williams last year, then Thibault Tricole will be a very happy man. He wasn't too far away from earning that elusive tour card. He was a few places below the cut-off point on the Order of Merit, and he watched his compatriot Jacques Larbe get one as well. But looking at the Pro Tour results, we've had 133 players play on the Pro Tour this year. Only 2 of them have averaged lower than Thibault Tricole. It's been a bit of a struggle for him against the real cream of the game.
That will have to improve, and he will know it. Richardson will leave tops and 10s a lot today. And every time he's on 10s, he's going to take this little step to his left. But on this occasion, he has to go back to the right. And he offers Tricole a chance of doubling his lead.
Well, the man known as Ruthless was not ruthless there on the doubles. Treble 19 will leave double 12. It's not going to go. But it's a nice setup from the Frenchman. Double 10 for James Richardson. Has to shuffle. Double 5. That's wayward.
Hasn't really settled into this game. Everybody still needs that first double when it comes to their first round match of any tournament. Thibault's already got that, and he's settling into a somewhat unexpected 2-0 advantage here in round 1.
The next batch of first round games are getting off and underway. A really good looking game, I think, between Dylan Slevin and Mike Kyvenhoven, seeing the Irishman 2-0 up. Pascal Ruprecht is one apiece with Nick Kenny.
That one piqued my interest a little bit. I thought that maybe Ruprecht, who has had some really good stats this year, could cause Nick Kenny a bit of issues. I think that could be a long match. Could well go all 11 legs.
Yeah, the 6 matches that have been completed on boards 3 to 8, they all lasted either 10 or 8 legs, 6-4s and 6-2s all around. Wins for Jurjen van der Velde, Conor Heenahan, Adam Warner, Robbie Knops, Jim Mostyn and Darren Webster.
Yeah, good win for Darren Webster, considering how he's played over the last year. Somewhat unexpected, I would say. But he does have some decent memories of Minehead, and sometimes that really can help you when you come back here. Nothing in the way of memories for Tricole, because this is his debut in this tournament.
And he's looking to make the most of it as well. James Richardson does apply some pressure, so 150 would lay down a massive marker for this match, and it's on. He chose to stay there rather than go to the clean double 18 bed, but it looked like a pretty good marker. 55 now for Richardson. And there we go, right in the middle of the tops bed. And it's 2-1. And James Richardson does break the throw.
Now I'm going to address the elephant in the room here, Dan, because as you can see, the dartboard is a little shredded. Next year, these points will be banned. Of that, there is no doubt. I don't need a referee's gauge or anything like that. These are the kind of points that will be banned from 2024. It's something that James will have to address towards the end of 2023. If he really wants to use them, he can this year wherever he goes. But in Darts Regulation Authority events from 2024, these points will not be able to be used in these events.
It's almost surprising to see him persist with them for now rather than use 2023, particularly when you're not a tour card holder, to experiment and use points that will be legal in 2024.
From a personal point of view, I think players like James and some others who are using future banned points, I think maybe from June, you need to have a 6-month period where you've got equipment that is sanctioned. No such problems for Thibault, who uses a very standard point with no rough grip on there or grip technology. What James is trying to hang, well, what he's trying to do in this game is to hang on, to grip onto Thibault Tricole and take advantage of the misses that he has, and one of those has just been hit, not leaving a finish, giving James 6 darts from here, and he might just need the 3. Oh, that's incredible from Richardson. He may be ruthless by nickname, but that is aggressive, just like his points, because he didn't need to go that route. But that's what he does. He sees a shot, he goes for it, similar to Johnny Clayton.
I'd describe it as fantastically unnecessary from James Richardson, because if you leave double 17, you go inside, you're then messing around with 1 double 8 and trying to get those 2 dart combinations. So what a shot that was from James Richardson. This is game 2 of 12 that we're going to bring you throughout this morning and afternoon. I'd be surprised if we see a better checkout than that, or a more accomplished checkout.
Yeah, in sporting terms, that was the equivalent of seeing a person you're playing against in match play golf put their first ball in the water, and then James says to his caddy, still give me the driver. Even when he doesn't need it, he just needs to put a 4 or 5 iron down the fairway. He says, no, give me the big stick. He is a big stick kind of player. He doesn't lay up.
It's a real test now of Tricole's darting acumen, though he is having a pretty good leg. making sure that that check out from James Richardson doesn't put him off his stride.
One thing I like about this new Studio 36 setup is that nobody has ever played on this stage in this room before. Everybody's on an even keel. And that probably suits people like Thibault Tricole and Jan van Veen because they're making their debut in the tournament. That means that people who have previous experience, they won't be able to use it.
107 now for Richardson. Treble 16 or treble 20. He goes. Treble 16 for tops.
67.
Slightly above now, 82. This is the bull route usually.
Now the tops route. Just over the bar, and James, who's 2-0 down, could now take the lead.
Double 10. No problem on double 5 this time for James Richardson, and he's completed the comeback of sorts, but he's still only halfway towards victory. We were mentioning before the game, we had a look at the Studio 36 setup, and it's nothing like Stage 2 of previous years. There are a lot more people, it's a lot wider space, it's not quite as intimate. Do you think that'll have affected the preparations of some of the players?
I think it has. I think the people who have been here previously have seen themselves going to board 2 in game number 2 just like this. The first thing that James will have thought of, okay, I'm playing in Red's bar, I've done that before. I know what it's like. But then when he got his player's brief a few days ago, it will have said, you're playing in this arena. He'll have thought, well, I've got no experience of that. I don't know what it's going to be like. This is where you have to use your overall experience, going to things like Opens and European Tour events. You have to adapt quickly. This is a big stage. Lots of room for the players to play. They will like it. Of that, I can assure you.
Yeah, these two guys have both got experience of playing on the big stage, with Richardson at the likes of Ali Pali, Thibault Tricole in the WDF system. Good setup there from Tricole to make a big dent in the 271, but double 8 now for Richardson. That's ruthless. 64 from 2 darts, and this could be a pretty good day for the Richardson family, because not only is James here, but his son Josh will be playing in the 4th first round game on Stage 2 against the young Polish star Sebastian Białecki. Just imagine if they get through to round 4 and draw each other.
Funny things have happened. I'll tell you one thing that James has done against his son in the last couple of years. He had a 9 darter against his son. Talk about ruthless. But then when you talk about the ruthless nature of the draw, how about the fact that the winner of this gets Richie Burnett? And that's just round 2. And the reward for winning this game, not only Richie Burnett, but main stage Richie Burnett as well, in the big tent.
Yeah, it's a big carrot dangled in front of these players, and so far it looks like Richardson's the one that's going to snaffle it, because Tricole made a fast start to this game, but he's just wilted slightly.
I can actually see in the background James's wife, and she is chewing on fingernails right now. An awful thing to do for your partner, to sit in the front row and watch, powerless, as your husband tries to book his place into the cash.
Terrific setup. Now can Tricole do what Richardson did in the last leg? He'll only get one opportunity, and he doesn't take it, and that's almost near where the single 16 landed. A poor dart from the Frenchman.
What a marker that is. And well used as well. Richardson has now won 5 straight legs what we thought could be a close contest may not be the case. Look at Thibault Tricole at the back of the stage there. He is so exasperated by what's happened over the last 5 legs. Darts is a difficult sport, folks.
Yeah, the way the first 2 legs went, Tricole must have thought it was going to be a walk in the park, but not so.
If you want to walk in the park, go for a walk in the park. Don't come to darts, because this is tough. Maybe, to a lot of the players, this is one of the toughest, if not the toughest day of the year, to try and make your way through to round 4, where the seeds will join the players, and then everybody wants to be part of Saturday, where you'd have to play twice. You'd like to play twice. And even better than that, the thought of playing 3 times on Sunday for what will be a record first prize of £110,000.
Yeah, it's a brutal format. If they do get through the first 3 rounds, it's 3 short format, best of 11 games. Then you ramp up to first to 10 legs.
You might even have to play on 3 different stages as well. You might have stage 2, main stage, then go over to something like stage 4 or 5. 3 very different challenges, 3 different temperatures.
Yeah, if these players are wearing Fitbits, they'll certainly be buzzing around. A lot of walking between the venues.
That's a good point, actually, because there is quite a bit of difference between the boards geographically. Double 18 to stop the rot. And there you go. We now have a situation, Dan. I don't know how much you've seen of Tricole over the last couple of years, but he has won more matches from this position than anybody I can think of. And he's survived more match darts in big stage games than most. He just has a knack of coming through games like this, but has he left himself just a little bit too much to do on this occasion?
Has to be 3 perfect legs from Thibault Tricole. That was nearly a perfect start for James Richardson. I'll tell you something, that board's surely going to be getting changed in between games, because that has taken an absolute pasting from those points.
It's been a hot topic over the last couple of years, and Simon Whitlock has had a great deal of the press when it comes to said points, because he was the one who came up with them, but he's not the only person who uses them. James doesn't care about the state of the board. He cares about the state of his leg count, because if it makes it to 6, it will be him against Burnett on the main stage. Not actually that far from now. Would be in game number 5. And game number 1 on the main stage is about to begin between Luke Littler and Nick Fulwell.
What a moment for the 16-year-old that is. I hope that his school were kind in granting him the day off to come here. Good setup from James Richardson. So Tricole, is he going to switch? Or split, I should say. Yes, he is. Double 8.
He's had his chance. Could have been 5-4 down. And now he should be out. He's down, but isn't out. It's happening again.
And there are no guarantees in this sport. He should have been out, but James Richardson has fluffed his lines. Now to make it 5-4 on double 4. There we go.
The amount of times I've watched Thibault Tricole over the last year and I've seen him in this kind of situation, I'm going to start giving him the nickname Le Chat Noir, the black cat, because he'll have an abundance of lives and he causes bad luck for everybody. All of the games he had during that WDF World Championship run last year, they were all nerve-shredding because they all went the distance. If he takes Richardson out of this tournament in round 1, you might want to leave James alone for about 10 minutes because he won't believe it.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster type game. 2 legs for Thibault, 5 for Richardson, and then 2 more for Thibault Tricole.
Ideal first dart. He's got to give it a bedfellow, and does. A dart ahead. And Richardson must find something better than that. You've got to see at this stage, it's a 50-50 game.
Yeah, if Thibault can land a big visit here, a 140 will do. Well, even that ton might be enough. We've seen him take out 96 already. Big ask for James Richardson. But he's got a dart at the bull. Oh, and James Richardson couldn't win it in great style then. 96 for Thibault Tricole, and not only will it take the game to a last leg decider, he'll have the darts as well.
78.
Again, he's had his chance to keep this match going. Now it's a case of Richardson getting the job done on double 4. And he does get the job done. This time, Thibault Tricole cannot get himself out of the quicksand, and it's Richardson who will go to the main stage to take on Richie Burnett in round 2. We'll take a short break now, and when we come back, it's going to be Lucas Wiening of Germany up against Jeffrey Desvaughn. 1.